Welcome to the 8th episode of IVF Parent. I'm so excited that you're here. My name is Stephanie Caballero, and today I'm so happy to introduce you to Cedric Portella. He's a loving French dad to a beautiful child through surrogacy and a friend of mine. In this episode, Cedric opens his heart and shares his journey through the surrogacy process, the challenges, the hopes, and the incredible moment that changed his life forever. This is a story about love in its purest form, the kind that finds its way no matter the path. Welcome to IVF Parent. I'm Cedric Portella. He is a father via surrogacy and a very fabulous, fun, wonderful guy. And so I thought I'd just bring him on here to talk about his process and what he went through, and he can give some helpful information for others who are seeking some guidance. So welcome, Cedric.
Thank you.
All right. So how is your little guy? He has one child via surrogacy. Last time I saw him, of course, I didn't really see him in person, but he was fabulous.
Yeah, I'm father of my son is 8 years old now,
Wow.
and it's fabulous. Yeah, it's too fast, but it's a beautiful and amazing things that happen.
It is. So when you started, there weren't as many agencies, there wasn't as much information, there weren't as many places to go to find information. So what would you say to, those, because you're located in Europe, those located in Europe, or even really anywhere, what should be their first step? Because I have to tell you, one of the reasons why I created this
Yeah.
podcast is because I would be lost, right?
So just remember, it was 10 years ago. So
Yes.
10 years ago, it was so difficult to find some information. So on website, in France, it's very complicated. So I thought I was alone, in France. I was the first one.
Wow.
It was not true, but yeah, I thought I was alone, and so I check on internet. I see a lot of agency, but I'm French, so I don't trust, the people abroad. It's like
I get,
so
I
we
have
are
a lot of
afraid,
French clients. I get it. They don't trust.
Yeah. Yeah, because we are afraid it's a big decision. There are a lot of people they work on it, so it's very complicated. So I find a lot of agencies. So I made a meeting with 15 agency,
15?
but yeah, but first no EC. So it was it was amazing because I make 15. So a lot of in US, in New York, in San Diego, in Los Angeles, in Miami, a lot. By
Ooh.
Skype. Yeah, it was
Oh
Skype
yeah, I
10 years
remember the
ago.
Skype days.
Yeah, Skype. It was
Oh.
and it was so difficult for me to choose. And I was choosing just one because I don't know, just the feeling, with the
We
girl.
don't have to talk about the agency you used because that agency you had a good experience, right?
No, but after I find you because so I was sure to find one agency. I was pretty sure, and I see on internet like a forum, and they speak about you, and it was Jerry, the very famous people in
I
France,
love him.
and so I was working with him to tell you everything, and so he is very famous in France, and he told me, "Oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you choosing an agency?" And I work with the agency, EC, and you have to go because I have two child. So he has two child, twin, and I say, okay, I trust you because I work with you. You are my friend, and so let's go. And so all the 15 agency finished. Uh, so a lot of I lost a lot of time, but it was okay. And yeah, I begin with the new agency, and
You
it was
know,
an amazing journey. Very difficult because there are a lot of people they work on it. It's human peoples. It's human, it's baby, so it's very complicated. But
Yeah.
yeah, I choose because I trust my friend. So
See see word of mouth. And you're right. I love that client. He was yes. I love that. I love that that person. It was a great experience. I have to say. I have to say. And
yeah,
then, but I have to say you're absolutely right that um it's biology and the process. You have a child, but this theme that everybody talks about is no one surrogacy is the same, right? Like, and even though yours was probably relatively easy, there might have been some little
yeah,
bumps along the road. I know for me, my surrogacy was 25 years ago. Um,
yeah,
and actually, you know what, Cedric? I was one of the first in
yeah,
Oregon, in Salem, Oregon. It is the capital of Oregon, but it's this little tiny town with one hospital. And I think I was the first surrogacy they'd ever seen. They had no idea what to do with us.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
we were in the hallway with our twins. We were feeding them. Yeah, it was funny, but yeah, everybody's different. Like,
Yeah,
it's a human process, and I think that's what people
yeah.
forget, right? They forget
Yeah,
that
for me it was very fast. Everything was perfect because from the beginning to the delivery, it was 13 months. Imagine it was so quick. Yeah, yeah, but I never see this since a lot because I have a lot of friends now with child, so I'm not alone. And sometimes take 2 years, and depends because
it's
it's biology, like you said. Yeah.
oh wow, everybody's going to be a little jealous. 13
Yeah,
months
yeah. Every time I say,
because
okay, my friend, they want to do it, they told me, okay, so for you it was like 13, it's okay. It's very quick. And I said, no, because normally, no, it's not like this, it was it's
yep.
like I'm very lucky.
I think for you, it was one of the last times where they got the egg donor screened and they did the embryos and then they transferred to the egg donor like almost immediately to the
Yeah,
surrogate. Yep.
yeah,
Because now it's 18 months to 24 months
yeah,
and you have to get your embryos. You have to find your donor first. You can't even look for a surrogate until you have your embryos. So yeah,
yeah,
all your friends, you tell them, listen, it's going to be 18 months to 2 years. It's not going to be like me. And it's not. It's not.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a much longer process. Yeah. So it
Yeah, I
just
have a lot of friends, they want to do it, and they did it too. And I was helping them like friends.
uh-huh.
So, and it was very nice for them because I miss this, this help,
Yes.
because I was alone. And no, my friends are not alone. So they told me, oh my God, thank you, because I don't speak English. I don't speak, it's sometimes it's in Mexico. I have friends, they did it in Mexico. They
Yes.
don't speak Spanish. So I help, for example, to translate with the surrogate or something like that. And it's for us, it's very nice because I was alone. And when I was 10 years ago, my English was baddest than today. So imagine to read contract in English, to go
Oh,
in
so
US to, yeah, it was terrible. And I was alone. So,
and
and I was single. So
you were single, you were alone.
yeah,
Google Translate 10 years ago was
yeah, it was not the same. Yeah.
awful. Oh my God.
Yeah. Grok or ChatGPT doesn't exist.
There
So
was
yeah, it was,
nothing. That's
yeah,
why, because I started working with a lot of people in France and a lot of people in Spain. And I did a lot of people in China, even Italy before it shut down for the most part, even though don't tell, shh, I may have or may not have some Italians. Um, but I had my contracts translated and I have them translated into those languages because me as somebody who went through surrogacy, I just put myself in your shoes. Like if I had to
mm,
go to France and do my surrogacy and everything's in French, like I'd be overwhelmed.
Mm.
I couldn't read the contract, right? There's just no way.
Yeah.
And you're right. I'd have to use Google Translate, which was awful then. So yeah, I paid to have all my contracts translated. Yeah, I
This
did.
is perfect. This because in 10 years ago for me it was not like this, and
No,
you 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 was not my lawyer, so it
I
was
was
not the same.
not.
No, I didn't know you,
It's
and
okay
yeah, it
though.
was
We know each other now.
everything. Yeah, everything was in English, and you know, to be honest with you, I say okay, yeah, I'm going to sign, but I didn't read. It was like
Because you couldn't. You couldn't. Thank
yeah,
God everything worked out for you for sure.
yeah,
Because could you now, right? Yeah, you throw it into Chat GPT and they'll tell you, and it's
yeah,
or even Google. Google has their own AI, so right.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's good. So I'm glad that you're helping friends. So what piece of advice would you give? Like you felt like you were alone, and you're right. I've been to France before. I think I've been working in with French um people for 20 years. I mean, almost as long as I've been, maybe 17 years. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I was able to go and I could hold my own events in there like 15 years ago. I remember I had people were filming us with the documentary with me and my twins when they were like 7 running across one of the bridges in Paris. So
Well,
very open then, much more now. But I have to
yeah,
say, with the recent court rulings, it seems to be getting better in France. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For couple, for single, it's very easy. When you go back to US or to Mexico, it's very easy to have the paper, everything for single. And for couple, it's very easy now. There are just some paper to do, but it's easier than 2 years ago, and of course 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, 10 years ago it was awful. Do you know
Yeah,
what my clients would do or French if they had, especially my same sex, but even my married couples,
yeah, yeah, of
if
course.
they had Spanish citizenship at that time, Spain was easier. So they would get Spanish citizenship for their child first, and then
Mhm.
they would get the French nationality, the card. Yeah, that's what they had to do then. And now it's
Yeah,
opposite. Everything changes, right, Cedric?
yeah,
Now France is better and Spain is not so much. So
yeah, of course. I
yeah,
saw
yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. So picking an agency, I think you definitely hit something that is important is your friend helped you. So you were able to talk to a lot of agencies, but then your
yeah,
friend helped you. So I think for people looking now, it's good to talk to people who have been through it, like you, right?
yeah, and to trust, because we don't know the people, all the agency almost are make almost the same. Some it's better than,
Right.
but it's in US, for example, everything the law is very nice in US.
It
So
is very precise. Yep.
so okay, the agency you cannot lost, your money, or just the journey could be bad. So for this reason, I trust my friend because he made it with the agency, with the
Yeah.
people, and everything was funny, human, like warm. So it was this part that I didn't know because on Skype you cannot see, and sometimes it's like commercial, or sometimes the people in Skype, it's not the people they follow you during the journey.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, and so when you know someone, they can help you or just to tell you, okay, I did it with them, I made it with them, and it was amazing. You can trust and you go. It's yeah. So for me, it was very important to make like this.
Yeah. And I have to say, you reminded me of one of my first French um, uh, parent. He was single, and he had gotten taken advantage of by an agency in Florida. And I want to say his children are now, he had twin girls. I think they're now like 17, maybe 18. So it's a long time ago. And it was $30,000 that she took of his, which 20 years ago, what is that in
Yeah.
today's money? So that was a lot of money. So
Yeah.
talk about not trusting, I don't like to tell my clients when I'm working on the legal side that I have other clients, but I have other clients.
Yeah.
So, but I never tell my clients that. So Cedric, I'm not kidding you. If we did not answer him back, he would send an email like 5 minutes later, and the text, I still have him, the text would get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then he'd be like, it would be great, crazy. And I got it. So I didn't get offended. And I would tell him, I'm just going to go by his initials, LC. I'd be like, I'm here. Do not worry. I was just busy. Everything's fine. The contract is signed. I mean, he would do this not so much with his surrogate, who was lovely, but he would do this with the doctor too. Yes. Yeah. And he had every one of us on every email. So it was pretty, but he was just not trusting, and obviously he got scammed, right?
Mhm.
So he was really not trusting. I really should reach
And
out to him.
for IPs, the time is not the same, for the other people. Because for you, for example, yeah, no, you can send an email 1 day after, to for an answer or something. But for the IP, it's every minute he checked the email to have
Yes.
the response. Because yeah, you cannot imagine. For me, it was crazy this, because I was sending an email, and if I don't have the response, I don't know, 1 hour after, I'm afraid what's happened? There are problem. The baby is bad. I don't know,
Right.
something
They're
like that.
fake.
So
She's
the
not
time is
pregnant.
not the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is very important to know for the IPs too, that the time you have to take it.
Yes. So, and then there's a time difference, right?
Yeah.
So, what is it now? 8 hours, right? So, there's
Yeah.
a time difference. So,
And they are
but
time different.
in my office, like if I was doing legal work for somebody, we have a 24-hour rule for
Oh,
clients and partners like agencies and physicians. We get back within 24 hours. So that's our rule. But you're right. When you're going and you're waiting for, your contract, or has your surrogate passed your screening, or what about the embryo
mhm.
transfer or a pregnancy test or the ultrasound? 24 hours is a long time to wait. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it is.
You know, I was awake. I was waking during the night, for example, every hour to check my mail. I remember it was, yeah, I was so tired. Yeah, I couldn't sleep because for to have the result for the I don't know, for the egg retrieval, for the egg donor, screening, for the surrogate, every time for the contract, for a lot of things. Yeah, and it was very bad for the night.
So
I was not sleeping.
you're telling me that every, at least most of the French, but maybe most of my European um
Yeah,
parents and clients, they're not sleeping. They're probably doing exactly what you did, right?
yeah, yeah. My friends do the same. But I have friends in process. No. And they said, okay, so they told me I send you an email in 1 or 2 days. It's 1 day, 24 hours now, and nobody sent me an email. I say, okay, don't worry. It was the weekend, and after the result, the lab could have like 2 hours late. So they are very afraid because it's very important journey. It's a big deal.
It is.
But no, I can understand them, and I say, okay,
Wow.
no problem. So I can help them a little bit, to distress,
To
good
de-stress. Wow,
people.
they say you learn something new, and you know me, I've worked with so many people internationally for so long that I did not know that. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind for sure. I mean, we understand, and I understand obviously having gone through this, how stressful it can be. So I get
Mm,
it. but I did not have to go 6,000, 7,000 miles away. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. But no, when my friends react like this, I say, okay, don't worry, it's not a big deal, just 2 hours late, or it's
They're
and
real. They've got it. They'll get back to you. Yeah,
yeah,
right. And then
and
I
3 hours that 3 hours after they call me, okay, yeah, so everything is perfect, thank you so much.
then they'll go to the
Okay,
next stage and they'll be
yeah.
texting you again. What's happening? Okay, they haven't got back to me again. And you're like,
Exactly, exactly,
oh, they haven't gotten back
100%.
to me again. Okay, don't worry, don't worry.
Yeah,
Oh gosh, that is really good to know. Okay,
like
so yeah.
I think it's European mind or French mind, I don't know, but we want, everything fast.
Yes, well, so do I. I'm slightly impatient, as you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I want everything fast. I do get that. I do. But we're dealing with a process, and the process is slower now and a little bit longer. Just
Mhm.
because we'll tell everybody who's watching that before you used to have the embryos and then embryo transfer 3 days later. So you didn't, then you froze the rest of the embryos, but there was no testing like there is now, PGD testing. Embryos, I think at your time, they did probably go 5 to 6 days, but they weren't really testing every batch of
Mhm.
embryos. They probably
Yeah.
said to you, she's an egg donor. She's, 25 or whatever, how old the egg donor was. You don't need a test. Now everybody tests. So I think you
Okay.
just have to educate and keep educating. And this is what we try to do is just educate people that the process is going to be long. Like I've been helping these intended parents, and they're not from the US, and they reached out to me, I think 2 or 3 years ago, and they just found their surrogate and they found their doctor, but their doctor won't work with the surrogate unless she gets these certain vaccines. And they both don't want her to get these vaccines. So now they're moving to the doctor that this surrogate worked with before. It's just, and I love this couple, and I'm saying, oh my gosh, can we just get some embryos for you at this point? Because Cedric, it's been years. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's been years. And yeah, so I think we just have to tell people that it's just a journey, is what it is,
yeah,
and just prepare them for that length of time. Because the most important thing is, like you said, is safety.
yeah,
Ethical people involved, ethical agency, a great physician, right? So they're safe for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, so
And
when you
something that
go on.
sorry. Now the IP doesn't. Sometimes they tell me, okay. For example, my friend told me, okay, at the beginning, but if I pay this, I have the baby. And I say, no, it's not like this. It's human. So you have to pay just for the clinic, for example. You have to pay for the lawyers. You have to pay, people, or sometimes people, like I met a lot of people, in like parents of the friend of my child. And they told me, okay, so how much you pay it? Like it's a package you pay and you have a child. And I say, no, it's not lazy. In France, you don't pay because the states give you back the money, or you don't pay,
Oh,
for the clinic. For the AVF center in France, it's free.
yep,
For
right.
straight couple, it's free. So I say in US, you go to the another country, so you have to pay the clinic, you have to pay the lawyer, you have to pay the insurance. So it's not like you pay something and you have the baby. So you have to pay the clinic, you have to pay the it's normal. And some people doesn't understand this. They want to pay, I don't know, $10, for example, and yeah, everything included,
Oh,
and there are no
yes.
human, but it's human. You have to, for example, blood verification, vaccine, medicine, pills, a lot of things. So
You're
it's
right. And we in the US, I mean, I do try to touch on my intended parents overseas, about the process, the insurance. but I really didn't think about in their mind, this is a medical procedure. So I should just pay one provider, one person, and whatever that amount is, and then I'm done. Oh, yes.
you know.
So,
You know, for example, if the first transfer doesn't work, of course you have to pay something more to
more.
have to go to the clinic, so to pay the taxi, for example. I don't know, a lot of things. So it's not a fixed price, and people doesn't understand these points. You know, my friends, my you know,
Yeah, no,
it's
that is a really good point that we just need to keep saying that because you're right. They get very frustrated, especially if the first embryo transfer doesn't work, which we all hate to hear that. My first embryo transfer worked, and I think yours did too. Right? So,
yeah,
but it sometimes it just happens and it doesn't work, and then they have to pay more medicine. Yeah, so that's a really frustrating part for them and they don't get it because you're right. You have healthcare. You have it all.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and everything for us, we're so used to here everything's in segments and parts. Everybody, you pay everybody, right? And then the insurance component to try to explain
mm,
that is just
it's very
mind-boggling
expensive. Yeah,
because it is for me. Like this is I just tell my clients, listen, I'm not an expert. It's very complicated. You go talk to the experts. But I tell them myself, like, I barely understand her insurance and I live here. So
mm,
sorry. Right?
yeah,
Yeah. No, it's just very complex. But yeah, even the clinic and they've got the agency and then, she goes to a chiropractor or she
yeah.
goes and gets a pregnancy massage and then she has a doula or she has a midwife or yeah, that is,
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't even think about that it would be even more complicated and more difficult to understand than I thought. Yeah. Yeah. I remember early in my career, I had this Canadian intended parent. And he said to me, I'll never forget. He's like, he paid for insurance, right? Like you did. And he's like, Stephanie, why am I getting a bill? I paid for insurance. Why? Then he said like multiple times, why? What is going on? I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, welcome to my world.
yeah. Yeah, because in French, yeah, you pay the insurance, you don't pay anything. Yeah,
No.
that's it.
No. Yes.
Yeah,
So I guess when you're talking to your friends, you just keep reminding them. Like they'll probably show you, is this normal? Wait, do I have to pay this? Is this normal? And you're like, yes, yes,
mm,
yes. So yeah, so we definitely do. We definitely do talk about that, but I think I'm just gonna have to talk about that just a bit more,
yeah,
right? For sure. Yeah, because
yeah,
it's really nice in my office though, as you know, I have somebody who speaks Spanish and somebody who speaks French. So it's definitely helpful for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Hey, so how's the weather over there? Because you're in a coat.
Yeah, so it's raining just 3 days, these 3 days, but yeah, it's nice. It's like LA, the
Oh,
weather. You know, we have almost the same weather.
we are.
Yeah,
We are.
yeah. So I
Okay.
love LA, so yeah. If I don't
No.
live here in Nice in the south, I will be in LA for sure.
Well,
In San
we love
Diego,
when,
not in LA.
yeah, we love when you come to
Yeah,
San Diego and LA and all that stuff. All right, so what do you think intended parents need to know besides all this other stuff that you've talked about? Because that's really important for people who are in France or Spain, Portugal, wherever they're at, whatever country, the UK, even the UK has their own health system, but sorry, UK,
yeah,
we've heard it's not going so well for you over there. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I have friend in Spain too, so they are in process. And yeah, it's very nice for me to help. It's like a friend, it's friends,
Yeah.
so I can help them, to understand all the process. This is the more important because when you don't understand all the steps, all the people, because there are a lot of companies, a lot of people, they work on this process, the journey. So, and it's very important to understand everything and to have coordination, because
Absolutely.
sometimes you can, for me, for example, it was very, very fast because I coordinate everything, by myself.
Everybody asks
So
2 months.
I was like, okay, so the lower department, okay, did you receive this? No? Okay, I'm going to call the lawyer. So I called. Okay, can you send to the egg donor department, please? Blah, blah, blah. And I was stressful for the company, I think, for the agency, but everything was after very fast and very nice. I don't want quick, fast, but bad
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bad management. It was so everything was perfect for this reason. So it's very important to coordinate, all the department, all the
Yes. So when
yeah.
you talk to your Spanish friends, your friends in Spain, are they frustrated now that they have to go through a lengthier process at the end, or do they not care?
No, no, because I know that in Mexico because they make in Mexico the journey.
Yeah.
So I know in Mexico it's longer than
Yes.
US.
Yep.
So I told them that okay, don't worry, you have to take your time because it's the process is longer and longer than my process because it was in US and it was 10 years ago and
Yep.
everything changed.
Yep.
Uh, so no, everything is very nice because they take it easy. So
Perfect. That's the thing. As long as you communicate how long the process is going to take, I find that goes much easier. Like when we have clients who ask us about Mexico, I say, yes, it's a post-birth process. So you have to
yeah,
stay in Mexico longer. Like for you, you were in California, and
yeah,
California is pre-birth. And so pre-birth, the second your son was born, you got the bracelets, your name went on the birth certificate, and you were
and
done.
yeah,
For me, I was in Oregon, and Oregon didn't even have a surrogacy statute or a process in
mm.
place. And at that time, I had to adopt my children.
Oh, yeah.
I did. And it took a year. I wasn't their mother until 1 year when they were 1 year old.
No way. I
Yes.
didn't know.
Yes. I have a
God.
birth certificate with the surrogate's name on it, and I have, yes, yes. Luckily, she was single,
Okay.
so she could do the declaration of paternity and get my husband on the birth certificate, so he was the legal parent. But if she was married, her and her husband would be the parents.
Oh my God.
And at the time, yes. Yes. Now they have a pre
Yeah,
kind of
no
a,
problem of this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But you're right.
Yeah.
A
The
lot of people.
surrogate is not on the birth certificate.
No, for you, never.
Yeah.
No, no, for you,
I'm
never.
just on the birth certificate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Mm.
you're right. A lot of people are going to Mexico because it is cheaper,
Yeah.
especially your friends in Spain. And then they speak Spanish.
I need to speak Spanish, of course.
So they're very comfortable with that. But I
Yeah.
just find that you just need to let them know that the Amparo trial, that's what they have to go through, is going to be long. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're trying to make it shorter, but sometimes it's like 3 months.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
Mexico.
but I have a friend. He stayed just 3 weeks in Mexico.
I heard about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and it was very quick. And another one, he has it was in Miami,
Uh-huh.
and I was with him because it was my ex. Okay, and it was in during the COVID period.
Got it.
So we flight to Miami to delivery, and for to have the birth certificate and the passport, it was like 2 months, and it was not possible to stay 2 months. So the embassy, French embassy, make us laissez passer.
Yes,
The
I know
name
where
is
those.
Laissez-Passer, yeah.
Mhm.
And so we left Miami 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks after,
Perfect.
with the baby. So no passports, nothing, but just with the laissez-passer, and
Yeah.
it was perfect.
Yes, that was perfect.
So this
That's
is this is an option. If you have to go, you can go. If you cannot stay, you can ask for the embassy, French
yeah,
embassy.
embassy. That's a good
It
point
it should be
because
possible.
yep, that is a good point for those who can't stay. And
Yeah,
then hopefully for the Mexico attorney, you just have to make sure that you talk to whoever you're working with, your attorney, whoever you're
yeah,
working with, that, I know you're processing this. I need to go home because obviously you want to get home with your baby. You need to go back to work. Your whole life is in France. This is
yeah,
what I try to tell everybody. So as long as you talk to your agency, your attorney, you let them know and they work it out, that's probably fine. I know we talked about this because, it's no secret that birthright citizenship is going to be, it's on the
yeah,
docket for the Supreme Court.
yeah,
And so we don't know what's going to happen when they rule in late June, early July. But if it doesn't exist anymore, we're going to get you home. Like
yeah.
all the French will go, it's emergency authorization. I did all this work during COVID. I got everybody home.
Mhm.
You say it much better than I do. I don't speak French.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Laissez passer.
Laissez-passer. Oh, I
Yeah,
got it.
perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. So that's what we would do. So that's fine. That's
Yeah,
a really good point to make for sure.
yeah,
Oh, I finally got to Miami. I've been twice.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah, yeah, I love Miami, but I
Yeah.
prefer San Diego and LA.
Yes, because Miami is
Yeah,
muggy and hot. Hotter.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We like that 72 degrees, which I don't know is in Celsius, but yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. Yeah, that's really a good point to make. And I know for the people in Spain, when they go home, it's a much longer process now.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah. But as somebody said to me, they said, listen, Stephanie, now they have to adopt their children. So it's a longer process, but they still have a process to
yeah,
create and make their children Spanish nationals. So it's not like Spain said, no, we're not going to make your children via surrogacy. We're not going to give you nationality. They just said, now you have to go through this process.
yeah.
I said, okay. When Richard told me that, I go, okay, fine. Yeah.
But even in France, when you go back, even you don't adopt, or you don't have your French passport or everything, you can go to the school, to the free school. You can have the insurance for free, like a French, because your father, or one of your father, is French. So it's not a big deal if you don't have immediately,
I
you know.
know, I've had clients who their kids are
Yeah,
five. You're 5 years
yeah,
old. Come tell me,
exactly.
Stephanie, I need to finally recognize my children and
Yeah,
get them. I'm like, your kids are
yeah.
five.
Of course. But yeah, it just nice because we want the passport, the ID, everything. But
Yes.
even you don't have everything, you can go to the school, you can have the insurance, you can have everything like a French people. It's
Yes, and that's really important. That's really important.
yeah,
That's what I love about France so much now is they've become so much easier for your friends who come here or to
yeah,
Mexico, wherever they go to have their baby. It's much easier when they go back home than before.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I really like it. All right, anything else, Cedric?
No, everything is fine.
I think this
It
is
was a pleasure to
great.
speak with you, to see
I think
you.
this, yes, I miss you.
Yeah,
And so I think I'm coming to your part of the country in May. So
yeah, nice.
I know. So we'll
So
connect.
you have to come in Nice in the south.
I
I'm
know. I
waiting
don't know
for
if we're
you.
gonna. I don't know if we're gonna be in Nice, but we'll see. Just hang on a second after we say goodbye. Sorry, people, we're going to talk offline because we know each other. So, but if you have any questions, and you want to ask Cedric any questions, you can reach him on the socials. We'll link to that. He said it was okay.
Yeah, with
Instagram.
pleasure.
Right. He said it was okay. So we're just going to stay
Yeah,
off, but stay on, Cedric. Sorry, audience, but I need to ask one more question. Okay.
yeah.